Hello, viewer. This is Mike Daly, and you are watching the Cut the Crap channel. Ah! So, we're going to talk about antidepressants. People have varying opinions on this, which I'll talk about, but I want to say this affects me pretty personally because I've been on an antidepressant myself for several years. I don't really like being on it. But I feel like right now, maybe I guess I kind of need to be on it. Tried to come off of it a number of times over the years, and inevitably would end up having some big depressive episode, and it just not working out too good. So now, I'd say there are kind of two schools of opinion when it comes to antidepressants, and I don't really like either of them. So, but I'd say the first one is okay. People, and these can be might be like some church people that'll say this, but also people more from a secular standpoint might say this, that that it's really not good to take antidepressants, but it's much better, if you do things like, think more positively, change your mindset, get out more, get more exercise, and or even stuff like, it's just part of this big conspiracy of the pharmaceutical friggin' industry to get people like hooked on like medications for the rest of their lives. So, which I don't know, there could be something to that, but all right. So now my problem with that whole thing is that okay, like people are different. Now for you, that may be very true. You may, for you, you may not need to go on an antidepressant. You may just, need to do those things like you were saying. Or, sometimes somebody might just go through something that's hard and maybe just need to be on an antidepressant for just a relatively short period, maybe 6 months or a year, just to get through that thing. But some of us are just kind of fucked up. And antidepressants can help. I think I'm one of those people. For a long time, like my mother, she was on antidepressants, pretty much from as far back as I can remember, and well, let's just say it didn't end well with her, but so I kind of had this resolve that I was not going to be like her, and so like I would have these really, I'd have these really big, I'd have these bouts of depression that would come and go, but I just kind of accepted it as that's just how, things are. But when I got married, and after not too long, my wife is seeing this. She's like, no, this is not normal. You need to go see a friggin' doctor. You need to, get on something. So, right. So, okay. So, and like we wouldn't, it's, you wouldn't judge like, okay, so like somebody that's like, say, using a cane or a walker, you wouldn't judge them and say, oh, well, you just need to be, stronger, and like, it's not depending on that cane or walker. But then when it comes to like kind of this mental health stuff, people seem, some people can get a lot more judgmental. So, I think it's so, some people, until whatever it is that's inside of us that's kind of fucked up gets, resolved, it may just be better for us to, just be on the antidepressant. So, Now the other school of thought, and this is what I run into a lot, like with the VA and I mean just the medical community in general, is that okay, there's a certain percentage of people that are, well, like I said, are just they would put it as more as like prone to like or the like ongoing depression, and they just need to take medication and be on it the rest of their lives. And they need to comply with what is it? Yeah, they need to what's the term? I think it's being like comply with the I don't know, your medical prescription or whatever. Like, now that I don't like so much either, because it's like, so now you're telling me I'm going to be like this forever. Like, this is just an irrevocable condition that I can never recover from, like, I mean, I can see, like, that if someone, like, if you're like paralyzed from the waist down or something, then okay, I can see that. Although with technology now, who knows? But so because I've known of people, I mean, one woman in particular that I guess she went through a very years of mental health torment and was on medications and now is totally off of them, and looking at her now you would not have any idea that she used to be that way. So I think the Lord can definitely bring healing, and so just this whole thing where where you need to you just need to be on this the rest of your life. You're like, oh, well, shoot, man, I guess if something happens and you can't get access to that medication, then you're just fucked, right? But, but both of those schools, I guess, again, my view on I would say, I mean, I think it's better if you can avoid taking them, because I do think, you can develop a dependence on them, not like an addiction, but I know with me, it's, like when I've like come off them, I can get like these kind of like really weird dreams and just, I don't know. And and then I've heard other people just can have crazy withdrawal systems or withdrawals that are really hard to go through. So, but, if you're just, I mean, and I'd say in particular, if you're at the point where you're having like suicidal ideations, I mean, like you're just having like lots of thoughts of suicide and you just can't seem to get it, then I think at that point, then, I mean, you can look for like spiritual help as well, but, I'd say, it's, it might be good to, get on an antidepressant at least, for a while. But, if you're on an antidepressant now and you seem to be okay with it, I mean, if you're a Christian, I would just kind of, seek the Lord about it. I wouldn't try to I think for me, at times I would try to come off just because I thought that was like the spiritual thing to do. Like it was like I shouldn't need these meds, but I think now that might have sort of been a pride thing, or maybe trying to live up to maybe other people's expectations or something. So, and if you do decide, you do think, Lord would have you come off them, it's probably best to taper off gradually, rather than just quit like cold turkey, unless you really think that's what you're supposed to do. You may or may not even want to communicate that to your psychiatrist, to be honest, because some psychiatrists that I've run to they'll just never be in support of you coming off your meds, and then they'll say shit to you that can kind of fuck you up. So, it depends. Some psychiatrists are more open to that. So, But, I mean, I wouldn't say you necessarily have to have the support of your psychiatrist or even let them know necessarily. I mean, you might be better to just, so I came off my meds. What? You came off your meds? That's very dangerous, Karen. You shouldn't do that. Well, I've been off them for a year now. And I was like, what, really? I mean, that might be better. I don't know. So anyway, if this is something that's been an issue for you or maybe somebody else in your life, I hope maybe this has helped you. Feel free to comment if you have any questions or thoughts. And please subscribe to my channel. And remember to click the bell so that you'll be informed when I release future videos.